am Ed.
Woo! And here's Logan.
So, yeah.
A little bit of a... What was it? It's a Johnny Carson.
I thought it was just
reference. That's what it is.
Shining reference. I thought that was... that was too obvious?
No, I was like, I can't say it's a Shining reference. I mean, I feel like that's too basic. The Shining did it in reference to Johnny Carson, as far as I can tell.
I thought I understood that reference. I guess I didn't.
I don't think, on the Johnny Carson show, they, axed their way through a door and then went, here's Johnny Carson. But it was like a here's Johnny.
Well, that would be too obvious, you know?
Yeah, he runs out and it's like, da, 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 da. And I know that's a Family Feud thing, but that's not important right now. But you know what I mean? Like, it's like, here's Johnny, and then he does his stand-up stuff.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Alrighty, what did we watch this time for this episode?
So, last time, we were watching Perfect Blue, and upon my suggestion, I suggest that we actually stay in Japan, in the land of sadness and sadness.
Depression and death and
all that jazz,
loneliness and
however
all the fun stuff.
A spooky island, spooky archipelago.
Wait, there's an island?
Japan is an archipelago.
Oh, Japan is an archipelago. Okay, yep, check. Okay, I was like, there's an island in this movie? Yes, Japan is an island,
and it's haunted as fuck. It's real haunted.
It is haunted, man. They got ghosts. They got ghosts coming out of the TV over there.
You still haven't even seen that. My God.
I still haven't seen Ju-on or Ringu.
Well, that's Ringu. Ringu has the ghost crawling out of the TV.
But isn't Ju-on The Grudge like the prequel
No,
or
they're
something?
Separate franchises. Well, The Grudge is apparently one of the sequels, which was confusing. I didn't find that out till after I watched it. I don't know what the hell's going on with Ju-on. But The Grudge is also on my list of to recommend to you one of these days. I enjoyed Ringu.
Mm-hmm.
I would prefer it to the American remake. It's really well done. But I would say Ju-on, if you like jump scares and you like,
yes,
being kept on your toes constantly and not...
Absolutely.
And if you don't mind, hopping between characters and not sticking with the same few people the whole movie,
absolutely, then
Ju-on, I think, might be a little more your speed. Because Ringu, I think, is more classical.
Yeah.
In the sense of, okay, you have, your main three characters, this family, and it's also procedural, which I enjoy. And the lady who is tracking down, hey, where did this tape come from, in order to, protect herself and her family. But you're sticking with the same characters. And Ju-on the Grudge is the way that the story goes, is it's like, okay, here's one person who gets grudged, and then here's the next person who gets grudged, and here's the next person who gets grudged. And then it keeps hopping onto another person.
I could be down for that.
Almost like an episodic way of title card. We are now in a new chapter, and it's named after this character, and we're going to see, how the ghost tracks them down. But it keeps moving around.
Okay, that I am intrigued.
Pretty spooky. Some very interesting sound choices.
Me like the spook.
And I am definitely going to talk about ghosts today.
Oh, heck yeah, man.
Because I love ghosts. But also, I just wanted to touch on special subgenre of Japanese ghosts because they have their own characteristics and patterns. And this movie features some of those. And I just find it really interesting also because I'm a film nerd. And I, love looking at genre movies in other cultures and seeing, it's still horror. It's still a ghost, but it's taking on certain characteristics. I'm interesting because I'm a nerd. But what is important right now is that this week we watched Pulse from 2001.
意識、霊魂、何と呼んでもいいんだけど、それを受容できるエリアっていうのは残念ながら無限大ではなかった。インターネットって勝手に向こうから繋がっちゃうもんなの？でもいつか必ずいっぱいになる。そしたら魂は別のエリア、つまりこっちの世界へ進出してくるしか方法がない。どうしてみんないなくなるんだろう。つまり回路が開かれた。それ貸して。あれ。
The real villain was the internet along the way.
The friends we lost along the way?
That were...
I don't know. Ghosts we found along the way?
Ghosts. Let me go ahead and say spoilers for 2001's Pulse.
Mad spoilers.
Mad spoilers. We're going to just talk about the movie because
that's
what the whole show is about. Why are you here if you don't want spoilers? Geez. My bit is internet. Am I right? Terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, this whole movie is just... Oh.
I'm so sorry.
This movie is 2 hours of, like, depression and...
True debt.
Oh, God. Like, the tier list of the depressing movies that you have recommended to me. There are 3 movies.
Okay. In general or for the podcast?
Hold on.
Okay.
No, I was going to say in general. I was going to rank the 3 ones that I can think of right now. Of the most depressing movies. We're All Going to the World's Fair is like...
That is really fair.
13 Miles in the Sky. And then I think this movie is in the middle. It's number 2. And then, I mean, Perfect Blue... It's okay. It's like, yeah, there's sad bits, but they aren't that sad to me.
Yeah, because I didn't find Perfect Blue that disturbing or sad, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, me neither.
It's just dealing...
I mean, like, I can understand that...
It's dealing with some really heavy shit.
Yep.
It didn't leave me feeling like that.
This movie kind of made me feel the oh god.
Yeah.
The depression.
Yeah, Sorry.
I will get my revenge in the form of a wacky movie.
Awesome. I love wacky. Believe me, I'm
not going to suggest a depressing movie.
I love sad movies. I also love wacky movies.
Wacky movies.
I go both ways. However, the reason that I recommended this movie specifically was because of the ghost sequences.
Whoop! I loved them.
And because my mission is to broaden your horror repertoire. Pulse is not my favorite J-horror, not by a good long shot. I find it very interesting. However, I thought it would be the best gateway point for you to get into J-horror, just because of those scary sequences and how they're done. And
they pulled them off brilliantly. Now, before Perfect Blue and Pulse, I watched, I believe it's a Korean movie, Gonjiam Haunted Asylum. Naturally, found footage. So I just want to say, look at me, I'm watching movies that are not in English.
Yay!
I'm working on broadening my perspective.
Great, wonderful.
Yeah.
I might have been wrong. I may have been wrong. But when I was deciding which movie to pick, I thought that if I picked Ju-on or Ringu, there wouldn't be enough found footage for you. And this, after I watched this, I thought, oh, this has way more sequences in the movie.
Yeah.
That really resemble found footage. And some of them are literally found footage. Now, I mean, they're still on my list of one day, we're going to go around to Ringu and Ju-on the Grudge. But this was my attempt at, using found footage to get you into J-horror.
Yeah.
Which, I'm sorry, it's just really sad. But also, a lot of Japanese movies are sad.
No.
Them and the Canadians are...
working through some stuff. Jeez.
Also, Japan was going through some shit in the 90s, early 2000s. There was an economic recession and also like a big terrorist attack in Tokyo. So they were going through it, especially during that period of time. And when you're watching, Perfect Blue, I think fits in this. Perfect Blue, Audition, Ringu, you can see that. An Audition, I think, really touches upon that idea of like loneliness, which I see as a thread through a lot of these Japanese horror movies. Pulse deals with it like pretty on the surface, and actually I don't really love how it does it. It's the like doing theme just by talking about things.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm saying this word, I'm making it really obvious that this movie is about this.
Mm-hmm.
I changed my read a little bit when I rewatched it. But at first, from first watch and for most of the movie, I thought, okay, you're just like talking about loneliness, but like I'm not getting any real like message about it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, hey, you're like acknowledging it and saying, hey, I see that, hey, mental health is an issue in our society.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, hey, like most of the characters of Pulse are in the same generation.
Yeah.
It's like saying, oh, like, you know, modern American movies, you know, acknowledging, you know, mental health crisis among teens, which has been an issue.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Even just acknowledging it is progress rather than ignoring it. However, I felt like this movie did not really give me much redemption on that.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it doesn't like have to, but I wasn't very satisfied in how it dealt with that.
Yeah. I mean, it ends with like all the characters die except for one. Wow, loneliness.
It's like a slasher. It's a little bit of a slasher setup, but not executed like a slasher at all. Because we have a final girl, and I do want to talk about her later.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like, okay, so my read on Audition is there's a throwaway line in Audition at the beginning of someone says, everyone in Japan is lonely. And that's like a throwaway, you know, like small talk line between characters. But, you know, I don't think anybody mentions that word that way, you know, like for the rest of the movie. But the way the rest of the movie progresses, and I know that there was that little line, and I was like, oh, that's interesting, because loneliness is an idea that I find really interesting in cinema. But there's a lot of ways you can take the same theme and execute it in all kinds of ways. And then Audition, it's this like middle-aged man. His wife died a little while back, and he is trying to find a new wife. And he finds this beautiful young woman who's, of course, you know, like at least a couple decades his younger than he is.
Younger.
But about him projecting so much onto her. So when you are lonely and you're seeking connection with a person, but you get so focused on this one particular person, and you end up projecting a lot of things onto them that, you know, actually are not based on evidence. And then this person is actually their own person with their own trauma, going through their own shit. And you are like, whoa, what the hell happened here? And I'm like, well, I mean, you are going through some shit, buddy. But also, like, you might have been a bit delusional. And I thought that was actually the movie has a pretty extreme conclusion, but I thought it was actually a really interesting way of dealing with loneliness and how people actually naturally kind of react to that. Is, you know, getting over, you know, attachment issues, getting overly attached to a person, and then that other person turns out to not be what you thought they were, because you were just, you know, creating a person in your head, kind of. And then that person, oh, they're a serial killer. What?
Oh no.
So I thought Audition dealt with it in a way more interesting way. And this movie, I have a read on it, but it wasn't the same. It was like, hey, we're sad and we're lonely, and then we die.
Yeah, I mean, the garden group, I guess. You know what I mean? The group that all work in the same garden. That definitely feels like they're not super connected to start with. And then they start getting picked off one by one, and they're all, you know, get trapped in their own loneliness.
So where do we want to start with this?
I don't know where to start with this movie.
Because also on first watch, this movie was kind of confusing. And I couldn't really tell you the story. And I was struggling. And on second watch, I straightened that out. Because we have two separate plot lines. And one is from this... Actually, I wrote this down. The group of characters... Well, we start off on a boat in the middle of the ocean. And that is where we meet Michi, who is our final girl.
Mm-hmm.
And then what we end up going to is there's a little bit of this weird found footage style. I don't know what to call it. Like it's a video, and then it starts glitching, and it's of a computer on a computer desk in someone's apartment, and then it's glitchy.
Oh yeah, it's like a video of itself. Like it's you know,
there's a camera
like there's a camera facing the screen, and then the screen is projecting or is showing what the camera is actually capturing, right? That's kind of how I picked up on it, if I remember correctly. Is like it just, you know what I mean? Like all of it gets smaller until, so it seems
Something
like you're
like
watching a
that.
feed. Yeah.
It was, to me, it was giving me like CCTV or like
Yeah.
some like low quality digital video that was then like, like distorted or something. So we don't know this when we're seeing this video, but this is Taguchi's apartment, and he is one of the young people who works at the plant store. It's a lovely little plant store. It's in Tokyo. It's, on a rooftop. And the people who work there are Taguchi, Michi, Junko, what's his name? Yabe? Yabe.
Oh yeah,
and
Yabe.
There's a boss, but he's barely
Boss man
around.
Yeah.
And apparently Taguchi has been MIA. And Michi is getting a little worried. Now, should I get into my theory about Michi yet?
Sure. I mean,
Okay.
It's movies. It's hard to do, I think, linearly. So.
Well, I'm glad I took notes. Oh man, there's a fun fact that I forgot. Okay, I'm gonna rewind it a little bit in minutes. So, first of all, a fun fact that I thought was really interesting is there's another translation of the title of this movie. So the title is Cairo, and the American title is Pulse, but that title can also be translated to Circuit, which I thought would be a better title.
Yeah, because I really don't get why it was called Pulse. I don't get the connection.
I don't know exactly. I just think Circuit, I would much prefer Circuit because it implies something that is like interconnected.
Yeah.
Like especially if in like a circular manner. Now I don't know a ton about electricity, but a circuit is something that's running like
it has to go
the
in
whole
a circle.
thing has to be tied together. And this story is dealing with these people who have connections, and there's kind of an infection that's running through them.
Yeah.
And it's also, the movie is also dealing with, how are people interconnected, or people know each other, but are they actually connecting? And how communities work and how intimacy works, especially in the case of mental health.
Yeah.
So Circuit, I feel like fits a lot better. That's my personal preference, but I don't claim to understand where that came from. Also, when you get the production labels at the beginning of the movie, you get the classic dial-up sound.
Yeah.
If you love late 90s, early 2000s era computer technology, this is porn for you. It's awesome. Just wait till Kawashima is setting up his computer. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's real. I mean, he's adorable, but also I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a disk drive, like that you put into your computer, and then you got this clunky little keyboard, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's awesome. I enjoy that so much. It's like
I'm learning things
in Perfect Blue when Rumi is trying to get Mima to like set up the computer, and then Mima's like, this is too confusing, and I'm like, girl. But that is the part of this movie I enjoy the absolute most, is these clunky 2001 computers and all the sounds they make.
Yeah.
And wait till we get to Kawashima, because he's adorable.
Yeah.
Man, you really don't have much to say.
I mean, like, okay. My first thoughts, I mean, I guess, when Michi goes into, what's his name again? Takagawa?
Taguchi?
Never mind. Taguchi's apartment. It's like a solid, we've got like a solid scare moment, because there's like
this scene is so good.
There's like almost like a shower curtain that dividing the room, and you can see that there's a person on the other side of the room that Michi doesn't see. And then it's like he stands up and like, oh, it's Taguchi, and they start talking. Exactly. And then he's acting real weird, and then you know, of course, you
man, this is a film.
A film with two
Because-
E's instead of an I.
Ringu is a wonderful looking movie, but this movie is a film. Because it fits into the horror genre, but the way that it's crafted, I feel like okay. And I know the director; he's also worked in thrillers and dramas as well, so he's not purely a horror guy. But these shots are so beautiful; they're exquisitely framed. They look good, and also there's a lot of like longer takes, especially during the scary scenes.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to talk about that. I don't know when we're going to get to it. Hopefully soon. But I'll talk about them.
Like, also, this is a long movie.
This is a very long movie.
It is
2 hours.
I firmly believe that no movie should be over 2 hours. If it's at 2 hours, I can forgive. But this, like, there is a point, and I was trying to pinpoint where that is, but there is a point where things definitely slow down in this movie pacing wise. And I think actually the slasherness of it helps keep the pacing and makes you still feel like stuff is happening. So when there's still people dying, but after like Yunko dies, then it's like things are slowing down. Definitely.
Yeah,
but for a while, our pacing is doing fine. It's still like, what's a movie that's really fast paced? Horror movie. The Thing?
I guess so. I mean, that one, I don't feel like it sits very long. I don't exactly know how to judge pacing, but I think that one would be pretty good.
Yeah. Pacing is a difficult thing to master as a writer, and it's also, there's a little bit of subjectivity, but generally it's a thing that like when you're watching something, you can feel kind of intuitively.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you're just viewing, you know that, okay, I'm feeling like things are slowing down, but I'm not sure why. Or I feel like, oh, this 3 hours has breezed past, but I couldn't exactly tell you why. You would have to go back and like be taking notes to figure out, hey, wait, why does it feel like this?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I was watching like a 1950s James Bond movie, and for most of the movie, I was like, okay, we're sitting with our shots where things aren't going very fast, and I was like, I'm okay with that. But then they go to an island that is an evil layer, and at that point, it kept the same, like, slow. And I was like, geez, okay. When you're doing kind of like in a procedural, or that kind of like, I'm going to go talk to this person, they're going to give me some information, I'm going to go, go here and figure stuff out, that works. And then when you're trying to pull that off as an action-y kind of set piece, it definitely fell flat. So that I don't know about pacing much, but I feel like that's the most I got.
I know it is also, that's also a different era of filmmaking.
Yeah.
Not to say it's a product of its time, but I think pacing of movies is definitely a thing that evolves over time.
Yeah.
Like I was watching the other day, I watched Zombie Flesh Eaters, the one directed by Lucio Fulci, which it's a movie. Now, I've seen 28 Days Later. I'm a huge fan of 28 Days Later, which everyone says, oh, it's revolutionary because it has fast zombies. I mean, it does. It's fast, yes, but that's not the most important thing. But watching Zombie Flesh Eaters, and I'm like, this is moving so slowly. Why has nothing happened? Like, people are still hopping between locations, and I still feel like nothing is happening.
Yeah.
This movie's 90 minutes. Why does it feel like 3 hours? Now, I might be in the minority. I know a lot of people love that movie. It's a cult classic. But also, pacing is not a thing in isolation. It's also working with all of your other story elements. I mean, obviously it's related to your plot, but it's also like, okay, does your viewer feel confident about where the story is going? Do they know why we're doing what we're doing at any given moment? Because you can totally like have breaks. I'm a great fan of like, okay, you can have one exciting sequence, and then we're slowing down. You have a breather. Okay. And then we ramp things up again. 28 Days Later is really good at that. 28 Years Later is also good at that. Of having a breather, and then you can get back into the fast-paced stress.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the best things about it. But sometimes, in a movie, you may have... Sometimes when you have slower-paced scenes in a movie, the viewer doesn't know why they're there, and they're like, let's just get on with it. Why are we doing this?
Mm-hmm.
But pacing is a little bit subjective, but also like, what do your characters want? Why do they want it? Why are they doing what they're doing at any particular moment? That can give a slow scene a real purpose. And so your audience doesn't get antsy because they're like, okay, I know what we're doing here. But if they don't know that, they might be wondering, why are we sitting talking? Like, why? And they'll get like frustrated. And I feel like Pulse, when we still have, like before, I think the point of Yunko dying, we have a few victims. And then that's what I feel like, okay. I feel like, okay, I have an idea of where we're going. And each time that someone gets knocked off, I'm like, okay, how did that happen this time? How is this ghost curse working? And how is this, because this is clearly escalating because more people are dying. But okay, how is this working? And I'm like, okay, we're still going somewhere. And then, like, after Yuko dies, we get to Michi and Kawashima. And then I'm like,
and they meet up kind of randomly.
Yeah, like, totally.
They just kind of meet, like, what was it, like 40 minutes before the end of the movie or something? There's a good chunk of time.
I have to say, when they meet, there's one hilarious moment when they meet up. And maybe this is, like, just a matter of translation. I don't know a word of Japanese. But, okay, this is way down the line. We already warned you about
We're jumping around. It's all right.
So I think Kawashima's walking around. Michi is in her car, like, asleep. And then Kawashima walks up and he's like, breakdown? And I'm like, ha ha, that's funny. You mean mental breakdown, like, emotional breakdown, or a car breakdown? That's really funny. I thought that was funny. And then Kawashima helps her, get her car back together. But I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
That's later down the line. But man, this first scene of Taguchi's apartment, if I don't know, I probably may not recommend this film to anybody anymore. Because, for reasons that we've already discussed. But if I would just show people this scene because it's so well done and it really creeps me out. Because
yeah. I thought you were talking about like the California guy, but I was like, oh yes, no.
The scene of Michi at Taguchi's apartment.
Taguchi's apartment, yeah.
And it's not found footage. It's not found footage.
It's not
correct, but it's got and the camera is moving at times. There's a lot of really great dolly movement, but it's a lot of long wide shots. And there's things in the background, and the thing in the background when it starts moving. Ari Aster would love this movie because he loves pulling that shit, and it's always
okay.
Scary.
So that's what I love about Paranormal Activity is the sitting with a shot, and it gets a little bit different because in Paranormal Activity you're just looking for something to happen, but in these shots, like you see something and you're like, is something going to happen there? You specifically notice something. You're like, wait a second, or like it's like 3 minutes into a shot, you're like, oh wait, has that been there the whole time? And like there are two moments in this movie that do that I was like, what? And then I like went back. I had to go back to the beginning of that shot because I was like, how long has that been there?
Yeah.
And I love how that movie does that.
See, I thought that's what you would enjoy about this.
The two shots, there's one with the lady on top of the big tower, like the industrial tower, and she's standing there for a while, and then she jumps off. And then, like when Michi and California dude, what's his name? Kawashima?
I'm so glad I took notes on the second watch.
Yes, thank you. When they're going through the industrial building of some sort.
Factory?
Like, factory or something. Like there's someone standing on a catwalk above them, and when they notice it, I was like, wait a second, hold on, how long has that been there? How long has that person been standing there? Holy crap!
Yeah, see, and
yeah,
y'all know I'm not a fan of jump scares. And usually in, a lot of recent, fairly recent American horror movies, that those jump scares are largely done with, sudden loud sound or cutting really fast to something. And often it's the formula of, okay, we're going to have a close up to medium close up on your character, looking around, and then boom, cut to something.
Yeah.
Which that's not, yes, they work, but I can see those coming, especially when you're using that framing. I don't enjoy it because I don't love being startled. But these kinds of scares where there's something in the background, like that one shot from Carrie where the mom is like just behind the door, and then Sissy Spacek is just like walking into the bathroom, and you're like, oh wait, she was there that whole time.
Yeah. That's like the one thing good about that movie. I don't feel like that movie does a lot well, but that one shot is really good.
We're gonna lose all of our listeners when we just Carrie, because neither of us liked Carrie.
No, it wasn't. I mean, it was okay. I don't think it was anything special.
I think it's just not my style. It's way too slick and polished for me. And also, I'm just not into Stephen King. Like, just in general, there's something about him that does not resonate with me. And it does with a lot of people, but I'm just not one of them. So that's my unpopular opinion of the day. But I mean, Carrie is a very well-made film. There's a lot of great moments in it, but I don't.
I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down. Who in the world thinks the jump scare at the end of Carrie is one of the greatest jump scares of all time? I saw that somewhere, and I was like, "You're wrong."
What is the greatest jump scare of all time, Logan? Do you know? Or do you have an opinion on that? Because I'm not a jump scare fan. I mean, the one in Wreck was pretty darn good.
The body falling?
Yeah. But also, the one from the blood test scene in The Thing. That's pretty darn good.
That's not bad. Or
do you have nominations? Man. Do you have nominations for the best?
I have a couple of nominations.
Okay.
Wow. Tongueless Man in Grave Encounters. The one where
the guy up in the ceiling corner.
The guy who's in the ceiling like Spider-Man and goes without a tongue, and the tongue's.
I almost forgot about him. I wish I could have seen more of him, but anyway, go back to my Grave Encounters comments.
Yep. Of course, Paranormal Activity 2, the kitchen scene, damn good jump scare. I don't think it's the greatest. I think there's one in the middle of Paranormal Activity 1 where there's just this ginormous bang, and I honestly like that more because of like you're going around downstairs afterwards and you're like chandelier swinging, and I think that kind of what leads after that is better than the jump scare itself. And I gotta say, the ones in Insidious got me really well, and that might have been just because they were really loud. But hey, they're still pretty good. They were jumpy jump scares.
I think it's mostly the sounds that get to me, because I really do not like sudden loud sounds just in general. But we can probably spend more time talking about things we've seen recently, because we've both seen a lot of interesting stuff recently.
Yes. Yes.
But anyway.
Oh, is that a joke? Like real?
I mean,
like film real?
Like, oh no, I was thinking like a fishing line.
Oh, I was thinking like a reel, like a.
I mean, we can do that too.
Yeah.
Basically, this movie's confusing, but basically, Michi is checking in on Taguchi. He's there. He's kind of like, he's looking a little like glum.
Yeah.
And there's a man, that whole scene is exquisite, but it's so hard to describe. Of he just like goes into another room, and then he goes into another room, and then like she follows him, and then he has suddenly hung himself with a power cable.
Yeah.
And of course she is scared and distraught. But the whole scene is so exquisitely shot. Like it's upsetting. Like it's an upsetting scene, and we will have so many upsetting scenes. But so I have not exactly a bone to pick, but so what I wanted to really talk about in this movie, I didn't really want to go like super deep into the plot. I thought I would go over this beginning part because it kind of like this is the setup, and then we have some repeating things occurring later on as we have more victims.
Yeah.
But also I just moved, so I have roommates now, which is weird. I've been living alone for months.
Yeah.
So I just heard a sound, and I was like, oh right, there's people here. There's people here. Crazy. So I think I have notes in here, because what I'm wondering, me as a horror nerd, and I love monsters, and I really like ghosts. I like ghosts, I like monsters, vampires, they're kind of, siblings. Because I'm wondering, how does this monster work? How is it, what is its motive? Well, how does it I'm sorry.
Well, I didn't get, because there seemed to be the victims who were lost in their own loneliness, and they turn into black dust and just gone. And then there are the people like Taguchi, and there's one later on a video camera that do end up killing themselves. And I didn't get why some of them ended up killing themselves and some of them ended up disappearing into their own loneliness. Because it seems I kind of got the whole pattern. Room with the red tape around it. You go in, you see a ghost, you're attacked by the ghost, and you survive. And when you get out, you slowly lose yourself to your own loneliness. So I got that point. The movie, I don't think, did a good job of explaining why it was that some people, committed suicide, and some of them, like, just because they explain it, that ghosts don't want more dead people. Ghosts want you to stay in your own dimension, but be lost into yourself and end up not dying. You just end up, sitting in your own loneliness. So I don't feel like it did a great job. I feel like even the comments about like, this was where their plan went wrong and they ended up, because they don't want more dead people. And there was like one line, someone saying, oh, maybe this is part of their plan, or something about that.
What plan? They have a plan? What?
Well, the ghosts were like, it's like, oh, the ghost dimension is filling up, and so they're trying to trap people in their own loneliness, and so I'm saying, like, one of the characters could say, not knowing what's going on, or like theorizing about what's going on, trying to figure out why some people died and some people lonely.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because that part. Go ahead.
I like that they don't over-explain. I do like that.
I do get that.
However, I feel like what it's depicting is a little inconsistent. Because, so like the method of death. If the method of death had been, it's always you dissolve into black mold. Or it's always you off yourself. Then it would like, then I would be like, okay, I get it. You don't have to like tell me.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. That's my point, is I don't get why it's not the same.
I don't want them to explain it. Yeah, I don't want them to explain it, but I want like the execution to be a little more consistent.
Yeah.
Now, if this was a Hollywood movie, the studios would be the ones. Well, okay, there is an American remake of this movie. I did not get around to watching it because.
Oh wait, really?
Oh,
what's it called?
You know about the J-horror remakes, right?
I do. I know about like The Ring and this. I know about Quarantine, which is an American.
I've heard of Quarantine.
The American remake of Red.
Yeah, which probably going to refuse to watch.
I'll probably watch it and be like, wow, this is a much worse version of the same thing.
I've seen The Ring, and
Well,
I mean, The Ring is pretty good. But
yeah.
it's also like 80% faithful. I would still prefer
Yeah.
The Ring. I would still prefer Ringu. But The Ring is still, pretty good movie.
Not
And
bad.
the remake
Yeah.
of Pulse is on the later end of that trend. It was like 2006 or something. So, and The Ring was 2002. So, like, the craze had already kind of was ebbing by the time there was the Pulse remake. I did not get around to watching it, guys. Sorry. I am a scholar, but I have limits.
Yeah. It was co-written by Wes Craven, and had Kristen Bell in it.
Oh right.
Huh.
Man.
Techno horror. Yeah. It's probably gonna.
This happens like in a lot of like American studio movies. Is the studio will often like say, "Hey, I think you need to explain that a little bit more. People are going to be confused." Or, "Hey, put in a word or term that an audience will understand," just to like they won't be confused. And this happens a lot, and usually it's not for the better, but also it's different, and that is something that I don't see happening with like a lot of these J horror movies in their original culture and language. Is not they don't over explain. And even in Pulse, when there are explanations, I feel like they're coming from unreliable narrators, or it's coming from people who are, they're giving, I don't know if I'd even call it exposition, but it's really their theory. Like, they don't know that this is actually the case. So, what's her name?
Dude.
When the computer science lady, when she's just, well, I'm going to get to her, but when she's going off and she's theorizing about, being trapped in your own loneliness, I'm like, I'm not even like regarding that as canonical, because I think she's just like spiraling. I am not like listening to her theory. Now, the other guy, like the other computer guy, I think, I find what he says really interesting. And
he seems to know more about what he's talking about.
Yeah, and what's her name? Her name is in here. Where is she? The MILF.
There's a MILF in this movie?
Hadaway, she just goes into a depressive spiral, and I will get to her, but like when she's giving her theories, and I'm not taking that as canon. I'm like, girl, what are you even talking about? I'm not accepting that as canon. Where was I? So apparently, I think it's implied that Taguchi got ghosted through a disc
or
that
a
he
website
was working on, but there's also a website,
and the website doesn't seem to be a very big part of it. The website confuses me too, because there's a room with the red tape, door with the red tape. Okay, no. Well, I know the disc was like a school project that they were working on. And they're looking, like, the whole point...
So is it unrelated?
The whole reason that they... I think it's unrelated, because the whole reason that they were like... They're like, Taguchi's is working on this disc that is our school project, and we need to turn it in tomorrow. So that's why I think Michi goes looking for him.
Mm.
And so I think that's unrelated. And they need to turn it in. So I think when they do... I think somebody goes back to the apartment, right? After he dies?
Yeah,
I want to say...
Yabe does.
Because somebody sees like the mark on the wall, and then they see him again.
Yes,
like,
and that's another fabulous shot.
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought that the disc was related, and so that made me even more
It's
confused.
not. Yeah.
Okay.
I think the website only shows up. I only remember it from Taguchi's side. Well, I remember it from Taguchi's side. I don't remember it from the other side.
Bottom line is we're confused.
Yeah, I'm confused, because with the garden crew, they're all like, don't go in the room with the red tape. And they go into the room with the red tape, they get screwed. And one by one, they all die. Or get lost, I don't know, whatever. But then Taguchi's with the website, and his whole plot line is he's trying to figure out how to track this website, what the heck is a print page, print screen button. What is a left click? What is a right click?
Kawashima. Oh man.
Yeah. I'm jumping around. I don't know.
I mean, honestly, I think we can jump to Kawashima.
Who is Kawashima again?
California Boy.
Oh, California Boy. I feel like you're going a lot slower than I think we are. I feel like we're going a lot faster.
We're kind of just we're willy-nillying. Bottom line, we're really confused about how these ghosts are working.
Yeah.
Now, I think the ghosts are the most interesting part of this movie, but
they look real spooky. They real spooky.
They are spooky.
I can think of like 2 ghosts in this movie that we actually see.
Yeah.
Kid Ghost and Room Ghost. Because what's your name? At the end of the movie, the person when Michi and California guy Kawashima, when they're like together, they keep finding the lady that he used to be, hanging out with. That's not a ghost, right? She's still alive. She's not like a ghost. Yeah, but she's like she appears and
she's like
some scary
under
stuff.
the influence,
Mm-hmm.
So
she going.
But I did want to touch on anyway. Yeah, Yabe, another one of the co-workers at the plant store. He's
yep.
Of course, he and Michi and Junko or Yunko. So they they're like, man, that was weird. What's going on?
Yep.
And Yabe ends up going back to Taguchi's apartment, looking for that disc. Yep. And then he brings it back to the plant shop, and there's some footage on there. Logan's making his face.
I don't remember what footage it was, but
I just remember making a note of found footage, found a photo. Logan should be happy, and it's spooky. It's spooky as shit.
What is the footage? I forget.
Don't
remember. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go pull up the movie.
Yeah, but
I'm pulling up the movie.
I think that's how Yabe gets gonna say get grudged, but that's a different franchise. How Yabe gets roped in as the next victim is he sees like these photos on the drive, and they're the spooky shit.
Now he's not the one that goes into the room. I thought he went into the spooky room.
Which spooky room?
Okay, so I looked at the beginning. The beginning doesn't have the like shot in shot thing of like there's a camera and then the computer screen is playing what the camera is recording. That is this shot, and then with this one, there is someone standing on the side, kind of in the foreground. And let me see. There's someone standing with their back to the camera, kind of Blair Witching it up in front of the kind of to the side of the camera, side of the computer, and then in one of the computers that's off, they see a face. Spooky face.
Spooky.
That I'm at 10:56. 10 minutes and 56. Yeah. So I remember that now.
Okay.
Yep, spooky.
Oh, yeah, spooky. And then, okay, there's some intervening scenes, but what I wanted to mention is we have a few sequences of one of my personal nightmares, which is a screen turning on while your back is turned. That happens to Michi, and I'm like, what kind of video drum shit is this? Like, what?
Dude,
it happens to Kawashima too.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was like, man, what if like Ratatouille randomly starts playing while I'm asleep?
You were terrified of Ratatouille.
I was not terrified. I was scared at the beginning, and that was it.
Yeah.
I'm just defending myself. I love Ratatouille.
I was scared of like everything until I was like 12, so you know. Yeah. But however, it is Kawashima time. And I can't remember which podcast it was that referred to him as California Bro, but it was great. It might have been Faculty of War. They're awesome. But this guy is a ray of sunshine. And he's also so gender. Like, I want all of his outfits. He's got that, like, he's got Hawaiian shirts on, on top of your t-shirt, unbuttoned. He's got his chains. He's got his, like, surfer boy hair. And he's just, like, a really sweet, optimistic guy. And I think that's why he's, like, he makes it so long, is because he is... like, he refuses to accept what other people are telling him, because these other people are like, oh my God, everyone's lonely and we're all gonna die and everything sucks. And he's like, no, what are you talking about? And I think that's why he makes it to be, like, the penultimate person who survives in this movie. And he's adorable. And when we meet him, there's no transition into this scene, so this is a little confusing on first watch, but this is starting our, like, second plot line, which follows Kawashima and what he's up to, as opposed to the Planet Gang. And he's in his little apartment, and he is trying to set up a new PC. And man, this was delightful. I'm like, clickety clackety heaven, man. And this poor guy is getting so confused. And he's so cute about it.
Pure of heart.
Pure of heart, dumb of ass.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he also respects women, so he fits all the criteria.
Hey, props to him.
Yeah, but he's doing his best to set up his PC. He's not really a computer guy. He's just an economics major. He's just a college student, which probably can explain a lot of things. College student can explain, like, anything. But there's a weird website that pops up, and it says, "Do you want to meet a ghost?"
Oh, yes, I do. I do want to meet the ghost. Ooh.
Logan would click that.
I'm going into the basement. I am climbing up into the attic. I want to meet the ghost.
Take one for the team, you can take it.
Yep. I'm taking one for the team here. Sorry, guys.
I mean, I don't know if I would go in a basement, but I might want to meet a ghost. But of course, like, nothing on the internet is real, so...
Wait, yeah, I mean, I would just, like, my instinct to be like, guys, what are you doing? Would be fighting against but I want to go in the basement. I want to go in the basement.
How do you not love the Evil Dead movies? I don't understand.
Because the basement is not that impressive. I'm sorry. It's not.
But that's not important right now. That's for another day. So Kawashima, He sees some weird videos. He sees, this is the ghost website. Haunted, spooky website.
Spook.
And it's just, like, random people just, like, in their rooms, kind of just wandering around. And it's spooky as hell. Like, this is the kind of thing that, like, I know that I would find it creepy, because I would be like, what? I'm uncomfortable because, I mean, first of all, it's kind of like prying. It's that kind of invasion of, that's, private space. But it's also me being like, is there any purpose to this? That would make me uneasy.
Yeah.
Like, now CCTV has a purpose, but if, like, you were just, like, watching CCTV and it's just people walking around, I would be, like, uncomfortable because it's, like, aimless.
Yeah.
Now, this is how I will transition into one of my reads on these ghosts. So another movie that you should watch for horror, reasons. I watched it fairly recently. The sequel to Night of the Living Dead, which is Romero's Dawn of the Dead, which is another movie that should be shorter than it is, but, happens to a lot of us, sadly. But that is one of the most, I think that has to be one of the most influential zombie movies, up there with 28 Days Later. Even more so, I think it's more influential on zombie movies than Night of the Living Dead was. And Dawn of the Dead is, everybody refers to it as the one with the mall, which, I mean, yes. But it's kind of like, okay, there's characters who are starting in a semi-urban area, and then the zombie apocalypse, is happening. And then they kind of run, and they're like, okay, well, where are we going to go? And they come to a shopping mall. And they're like, well, there's got to be a lot of supplies in there. I mean, if I go there, and one of the characters gives a like really, really great description of the zombies. Because of course, Romero zombies, Shambling Dead, they're very slow. I don't even know if they're hungry per se. Like, I don't even like the zombies from The Return of the Living Dead, which is my definitive text on zombies. Those ones have, okay, they want brains. They want to eat your brains, living brains. Okay, great, very specific. I know what they want. Okay, it's all coming together. It all makes sense. Great.
We understand them.
Yeah. Romero zombies are more like they're kind of wandering around mindlessly. And I mean, they like flesh too, but they're not in any rush. And the scare of them is just there's so many of them, and you can never get rid of them all. And they will surround you and eradicate you. And it's a very slow, like siege kind of scare, which is something I find scary, personally. And in Dawn of the Dead, one character gives, the characters are wondering why are the zombies here? Like, we know they just wander around everywhere, but like, why would they want to be in the shopping mall? And then one character is guessing like they're here out of habit. Like they're dead, but they have some idea that, oh, this is a place that was important to them when they were alive. Even if they can't remember why, because their minds are basically gone. It's a force of habit. It's still aimless. And that's what, on second watch, that's what these ghosts, especially like in this little clip that we get here. And this is what I think we're seeing through the Ghost website is ghosts. And they just look like people in rooms, and they're kind of just rolling around, like not really doing anything. And like Romero zombies, they're aimless. Oh. They're doing they're in a place just out of habit.
Yeah.
And that habit might be solitude. And I think that makes sense with what this movie is trying to depict. Now, the other thing that also reminded me of Dawn of the Dead, there's another fantastic line of characters saying, referencing like the old voodoo tradition of zombies. He had a Haitian grandfather, who said, "When there is no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth."
Dang.
Which is very similar when we get the theory from the other computer science student that Kawashima talks to. And this guy gives his theory, which sounds knowledgeable, relatively.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, basically there's no more room in hell. And now the ghosts are spilling into our world. Which I was like, oh, now that is something I find interesting. Now, the mechanism by which they're doing that, I am very, very confused.
Yeah, no, they didn't. I have no idea, like, that bit of, like, oh, the gateway or something, and then
that's where they lost me.
I was like, cool. Tape. Red tape.
The tape
was connect the red.
I mean, the tape was a fantastic visual, like, motif.
Yeah, props to them for making that motif, but, like,
but the mechanism by which these ghosts are like escaping, and also like why are they attacking people, and how come like the dots are not quite connecting for me.
I get the whole like the same thing with like the myth of Hades. Like they don't want any more dead people because it's full. Hell is full. So they're trying to trap people in their own loneliness instead
Then why
of
are they
killing
people? But then why are some people dying?
That's what I was saying. That's what I'm saying. Is
so
like, why are they dying?
confused.
That's not the point. So that's how what I was saying.
The
That's what
sequences
I was
themselves
saying
are
is-
great. Logically, they're not making consistent sense.
Yeah, and also, like, does everyone? I don't feel like everyone went through the same, like, go into the room, turn around. Oh shit, it's a ghost.
Yeah.
Like, did everyone go through that? Like, I know, Kawashima. Get it right.
Like
Kawashima?
Kawashima and Michi, they both like have
Kawashima-
encounters with ghosts or people who have been
Well,
ghosted,
Yabe.
and then they
Yabe's like-
survive for a while.
Well, the
But then
point is
Yabe
he
is
survived,
like
I
he
thought.
sees a ghost, and then he is
Yabe
now
survived.
ghosted. No.
Yabe meets a ghost, and then he starts, it takes a little while for him to get black dusted.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall mechanism not
Mm-hmm.
very confusing. Yeah,
There's
I did
probably
not get it.
So Kawashima gets pretty spooked by this little ghost website. Anyway, okay. My theory about the ghost website, I have no idea if this is canonically supported or not.
I have no idea why the ghost website is there. So you have more information than I do.
I like that it connects the ghosts to the internet. I think that's really cool. Especially connecting. Hey, like ghosts are a very old tradition in Japanese horror storytelling. Hey, that's in Ringu, that's in Ju on the Grudge, that's back in Kaidan. It's a very old like tradition, and then the internet is introducing something that is very of the period. I think that's awesome. That's
Very.
like the greatest, like that's the most original thing in in the story of this movie. A lot of the other details don't logically make sense. I mean, my opinion, my guess is that it's like just a window into the ghost world.
That would make sense to me. Well, because it also isn't it the website that, like, I think later in the movie somebody offs themselves like on the website.
Yes.
On the video, which then that wouldn't make sense if it was a ghost. Also,
I don't
were
fucking
we supposed
know.
to were we supposed to recognize the guy who like offs
No,
himself?
I don't think so.
Okay, because I thought it was like, oh, Tech Dude. I thought it was Tech Dude for some reason.
I honestly
'Cause I
could
thought we
not
were
tell
supposed-
you. Now, okay, I do have one theory that doesn't fill in all the dots, but so given that Michi and Kawashima are our like last survivors,
Yeah.
now I think that the way these ghosts are doing is basically they're kind of spreading depression, or they're spreading an idea of hopelessness. And Michi and Kawashima are the people who resist that more than any other character do. Because Kawashima is the one who's like, no, we still have, hey, we're friends. We're sitting next to each other right now. You sat, like, no, like, come back to reality. I am your friend. I am here with you now. Because he's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
And then Michi is the one who's like actually like doing the work of, she goes and checks on her friends. She goes to their apartment. When Yuko gets freaked out, she like is nursing Yuko in her apartment. She is doing all this mundane work of taking care of people, which is also a kind of like resistance to an idea of hopelessness, because they're like, no, I'm going to take care of my friends right here now. And what happens to a lot of the other characters that succumb to ghost whatever, they get depressed, and they start saying about the same things of like, oh man, we're all just lonely, we can't get close to people, like and then girl, how do I now, okay, maybe I can introduce Haraway. So when Kawashima gets really spooked by the ghost website. I mean, he was already like kind of on like his last nerve with this computer because he's struggling. And then he sees the ghost website and he's like, fuck this. Like, I'm shutting this off and going to bed.
And it does turn on a couple of times throughout the movie.
Oh,
like behind
God.
him with the
like
ghost
it wakes him up. I'm like, no, that's my nightmare.
I want to say there were some shots where you're in the other room looking at him, and behind him is the computer screen, and like he crosses in front of the computer screen, and you're like, oh God, when he walks away.
Talk
like
about
the
blocking,
like
the
well, he's
blocking in those
blocking the
scenes are
screen.
like the blocking of like where you're placing your camera and your actors.
Yeah.
Like there's a one shot where like, okay, he or Michi, there's similar scenes. He's like sitting down at the table, and when he sits down, he obscures the TV.
I think
when he stands up, the TV is on, and I'm like, oh my God, this is filmmaking.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he gets freaked out, but he goes to the university computer lab to go see if he can ask anybody about what the hell is going on. And he comes across Hadaway, who I think he finds immediately attractive, which, hey, we've all been there.
Yep.
And he's like,
Happens.
I came to this, some weird things are happening. I don't know anything about computers. Help me. And she's like, well, I mean, what was the URL? And he's like, what's a URL? And she's like, okay, you're gonna have to bookmark the page. You're gonna have to bookmark the page. And he's like, okay, let me get a pen and paper because I'm gonna have to write this down.
Bookmark the page. How do you do?
He's like, double click. What?
What's a double click?
That sounds too complicated. Which is hilarious.
What is that?
Yeah. Yeah, so he's trying to get her help, and of course, he's actually being oddly successful, and trying to like ask her out via submitting an IT request. It's kind of cute. It's kind of cute, actually.
Yeah,
but their
relationship. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say like it's kind of fun watching this too.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cute. But there gets to be a point when Hadaway kind of gets ghosted, and man, she plummets downward.
Like they start taking. I want to say like they take a train to run away, and then just straight up says, "Nope, I'm going back home."
But there's a point like I'm jumping like an hour in movie time.
It's all right.
I'm just giving context to the listener. When Hadaway, she's in a deep spiral, man. Like they're at her apartment, and she's just rambling. Like the ghosts are gonna trap us in our own loneliness. Everything sucks, and we're all gonna be alone forever. Like that's the mode she's in. And Kawashima's like, now, okay. If I can give when you struggle with mental health, there's you get in a lot of like spirals, and usually those are like purely internal. But here Hadaway is totally like just monologuing it out. There gets to be a point when you just have to say, hold up. Now this can be another person talking, or sometimes you have to say it to yourself. You have to say, hold up, girl, what the hell are you even talking about? Just stop, because this is not based on reality. You are just spiraling. No word that is going to happen, no word that's going to proceed is going to actually add anything helpful. I'm just going to make myself feel worse. You just need to like shock yourself kind of out of it. Or if not shock yourself, then say, okay, like I need to pull myself out of, a triggering situation, or I need to go eat lunch. Like you just need to, like thinking about something more is not going to help it, because your brain is kind of like rolling off in the distance. And so Hadaway is totally in the spiral mode, and I'm like, girl, what the hell are you even talking about? Get an ice cube, like splash some water on your face, like nothing. You're just blabbering. Like, girl, what the hell are you even talking about? Come on, back to reality here. Come on. Which is something you have to do sometimes. And this was also the point when I'm like, man, this movie is slowing down. But we are getting, jumping to the, but this is when we are getting into like Ghost Apocalypse.
Yeah, because apparently a lot of people are dying.
Yeah. It's almost
like a plane goes down.
I can't wait. Yeah. I can't wait for you to see Shaun of the Dead. But this is like a sad version of like the first section of Shaun of the Dead, where Shaun is just going about his daily business and does not notice that the zombie apocalypse is like literally happening. It can stare him in the face and he just is whistling, not noticing. And this is the like, okay, these characters have been wrapped up in their own shit. They have like even noticed that like, okay, like most of Tokyo has disappeared. Like most of the residents of Tokyo have just gone.
And there's a plane going down.
Like the world is ending, and then these guys are like just now noticing. Which they've been going through it. It'd be like that.
Yeah.
But there's that iconic sequence from 28 Days Later of like we get a little bit of like Ghost Tokyo of like, wait, there's no cars.
No one here.
There's no one here. There's no cars moving. That uncanny. Yeah. Where is everybody? This feels very wrong. So that was all happening in the background while these characters were off, dealing with all this shit and like ghosts and all that. I'm jumping to the end. And I think I'm not going to spend too much time on the end because I'm assuming that the listener has already, watched the movie. And also, I don't want this. It's depressing and also, I don't,
Not a great ending.
I think, and I am so sad that Kawashima dies. Why? I'm mad.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that sets him over the edge is he has that encounter with a ghost in one of those little rooms, and the ghost is like standing there, and he is telling himself, "It's not real. It's not real." Like if you don't think about it, it can't hurt you. And then he tries to touch the ghost, but the ghost is actually tangible. And that's when he gets really scared. And I think that's what sets him off to finally, like, and then, he sinks into the depression. And it's the beginning of the end for him. Because up until that point, he's been, like, not denying the ghost, but he's been, like, in reality. Like, he was trying to save Hathaway so hard. He was like, girl, what are you talking about? He's been so staunchly optimistic for so long, and then this encounter makes him believe that the ghosts are real and that the cynicism is real, and then that's the end for him. That kind of like was the last piece of my theory of it's not even like an actual infection. It's more like, if you believe this, then you will fall victim.
Yeah.
And these ghosts are kind of spreading an idea more so than a curse. And you can resist it,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's a good or bad message for mental health, but I think for a ghost story, it's a little interesting. It's a little different. But Michi is our final girl. She survives. She goes off on a boat.
To, I guess, China. Because, that's the closest thing to Japan, right? Well.
I don't know, but they're off in the ocean. They're going to South America. But that's a long way.
Oh, yeah, I think.
But that's honestly not very important.
It's not important.
And she's our last girl standing. And I think it's because even though she's not like the most vocally optimistic person, I think she is like the person who's grounded in the mundane
Yeah.
reality, and she's the one who's like present and like all the actions that she's done. That's my theory of why she's our final girl. But R.I.P. California Boy, you're in my heart.
No.
But can I have your
Miss
gender
him.
though?
He is very California. California. He's a very California boy. He's a dude.
He's a bro, but he's a himbo. He's not like a bro.
He's not like a bro-tastic bro. He's a dude, man. He's chill.
Like the ideal surfer boy who's just like chill with everybody, kind of hippie, Now, do you have any more thoughts about this movie?
Nope. Please get me out of this.
Alrighty, what have you seen recently?
Oh, Letterboxd.
Oh,
Letterboxd. All right. So, highlights were 100% Late Night with the Devil. Loved it. Loved that movie. And I watched Until Dawn. I'm sorry. It was okay.
Okay.
I watched
Insidious.
Insidious. Yeah, I watched some Insidious. The first one. I mean, it was scary at certain points, and then it was just kind of like, oh, there's a plot? Oh, I see. And then, oh god, I watched Paranormal Activity, Next of Kin. Good lord, Oren Peli, please, why are you doing this? Why do you
Didn't you give that like 1.5 stars?
I gave it 1.5 stars.
That's pretty bad.
The only movie after 3 that I remotely liked was Ghost Dimension. 4 was like same old. 4 was nothing special. If they stopped after the 3rd, I haven't even finished.
There's a few franchises like that, like actually Romero's Dead movies.
Mm-hmm.
The first three are solid.
Diary of the Dead.
Yeah, that was after the first 3. Yeah.
Yeah, but All right, please tell me you watched something better than Next of Kin.
I will also. I think I'll maybe note. I've been a little busy moving, and I'm now moved into a new place, so if my audio sounds a little bit different, that could be why. Yep. And if you just hear some guy yelling, then okay, it'd be like that.
Yeah.
Love them.
You do.
And that means also that me and Matt can make each other watch movies. And so Matt has roped me into watching a few things that I would not have chosen of my own volition. I will get back at him. I will. But also we're like roommates. We share our physical media collections, so lots of good movies. I've had a good week. I think I've had a pretty good week. Now I'm going from most recently to least recently. Last night I watched Messiah of Evil from 1974 or 73. I started casually watching this, and at some point I realized that I was not locked in enough for what this movie is doing. And never at any point did I know what I was watching. But I knew it was interesting. So I just need to like rewatch it like ASAP. Because it's one of those that you kind of have to like watch it to understand what it's even doing. Like it's hard to describe.
Yeah.
Because it's very atmospheric. But it's like you can't say, oh, it's just like a zombie movie or a cult movie or a like rural horror or like a conspiracy. Because it is, but it's like all of those things in one, but also like you kind of have to watch it to even have the right expectations. I also saw Together, which was a new release. That was a really good body horror. I got what I came for. Body horror, very good body horror. I did not expect it to be so millennial. Like the humor of it was something I didn't expect, and like just the comedy and the kind of comedy it is, but also let the millennials have this. like, this is the intended audience. Oh, and also I watched House of a Thousand Corpses, which I actually enjoyed more than I thought I would. I thought it was pretty fun. Um, Stylish, especially I watched it on Matt's Blu-ray, which looked really nice on a colored lighting. Very spooky. It made me yearn for Halloween. Also, some really nice rock music. So, it's Logan's pick next. So, what is
Thank
up, Logan?
God. Oh, good Lord.
I'm
all right,
sorry. It's been excruciating. I'm so sorry.
I am pulling us out of this hole of Japanese depression that we have found ourselves in.
That's fair.
I am actually pulling us. I want to see your expression. I am actually pulling us so hard out of Japan that we are going to space. We are going to space. We are going to be watching.
Space can be depressing too.
Yes, but not this one. It's found footage. It's Apollo 18. We found on Tubi. What if they went to space and there was aliens on the moon?
I did not expect that. Because you said you were going to go, like, out of left field, Dippin' Dots for this. And I thought, oh, wait, I actually had no idea what you were going to pick. I was like, I don't know, Ganjam?
Well, I mean, this is, like, whack. I'm going back to what I'm used to because I need it a little bit.
Well, yeah.
A little bit of rest and relaxation. But we also go into space, and there's aliens, and there's Russians.
I think space is pretty scary.
Space.
But, okay, interesting.
So, aliens.
I mean, look, I promised you, and this is on record, that my next pick will be much lighter. Because I also like silly. I do like silly.
We need to go back to the silly, please.
I have a lot of silly. Believe me, I have a lot of silly. But there's a lot of flavors of silly. And we'll get there when we get there. I'll just give you, okay, what flavor are you feeling? And then I'll, reveal what the actual, my actual pick is.
This one is like oh, I had a thought.
A thought? Where? It went somewhere.
This is found footage, but this is not dudes being assholes found footage.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, there's also no women in it, so as far as I remember.
I mean, okay.
But this is just good old-fashioned, there are cameras, and something spooky happened.
Is there a spooky boat?
That's...
Is space haunted? Is the moon haunted?
Dude, there's an alien. I told you there's aliens.
Great.
They're aliens. That's the whole thing.
Close enough.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Alrighty. So we will see you next time for Apollo 18.
Woo!
Until then, stay spooky.
Stay spooky.
Spooky.